Thank you for joining us on the news on the hour. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. Senate President David Mark has urged Nigerians to have faith and remain steadfast in promoting peace and unity, no matter what the challenges are. He said in a goodwill message on the independence anniversary that the indivisibility of the nation is not negotiable. Mark records the nation's checkered political history since 1960 and concluded that the present crisis is surmountable. The Senate President also dismissed insinuations in some quarters that Nigeria has not made progress since independence. Turning to politicians, Mark advised them to refrain from inflammatory and treasonable statements or actions. A civil society group, Citizen Arise Movement of Nigeria, plans to stage a protest march on October 1st to draw attention to what it describes as poor governance. The group, led by former federal lawmaker Dino Melaye, made this known in its intention at a news conference. It argued that the Jonathan administration had not given Nigerians cause to celebrate. The group also handed down a 14-day ultimatum for a nationwide protest if the government does not address issues surrounding the $9.3 million seized in South Africa.
The federal government should come out clearly on the question of the $9.3 million impounded by the South African authorities, since the laws of both South Africa and Nigeria have been expressly violated. And those involved in the criminal acts must be prosecuted and jailed for breaking our laws and the laws of a foreign country and bringing so much disrepute to our image as a nation. We also want to state that the Citizens Arise Movement of Nigeria will be organizing a mega protest rally tomorrow, being 1st of October, 2014. We have nothing to celebrate as a people, but we want to stage a demonstration and peaceful protest tomorrow at the Eagle Square to drive home our demands and our request for good governance in this country.
Bauchi State Governor Issa Ikuda says Nigeria's come a long way in 54 years of independence. He told State House correspondents that even though there is a lot to be done, the country has witnessed a lot of transformation. Governor Iguda, however, concedes that the country could have done better.
Nigeria at 54 is a country that has really witnessed a lot of transformation. And for somebody who has seen the last 50 years, he can tell the story better. And I believe as at my own age, at least, I should be in a position to tell you that, yes, Nigeria had witnessed a lot of developments in the past 54 years. And that is in terms of the polity, in terms of the economy, in terms of other sectors, especially transportation, communication, and a host of other things that you can see. For instance, in the 60s, maybe we had not more than 3 or 4 universities. But today, how many universities are we talking about? 50 years ago, 54 years ago, how many road networks do we have in Nigeria? You can see the road networks.
Former head of state Muhammadu Buhari has formally declared his intention to contest for the 2015 presidential elections on the platform of the All Progressives Congress. He says all is now set for him to launch his campaign for the APC presidential ticket in a few weeks' time. Buhari made this known at a meeting organized by a coalition of youth groups supporting his aspiration. The APC leader told members of the National Youth Alliance for Buhari Support Group that the only way to bring change in the country is to vote out the ruling party in 2015.
With your support, I intend to offer myself for the position of President of the Republic. I intend to make a formal announcement soon, and I hope to count on your continued support and sacrifice. However, I would like to point out to you that to be more meaningful, your support must extend beyond my person and always be available to the party and all those the party puts forward.
The All Progressives Congress caucus in Kaduna Assembly has endorsed former head of state Muhammadu Buhari for the party's presidential ticket. The minority leader, Muhammad Ali, said in a statement that all 12 APC members of the House are in support of the move. He added that in endorsing Buhari, the caucus noticed that the former head of state has the capacity to make things work in the country. The APC caucus leader in the Kaduna State House of Assembly argued that Nigeria needs someone like Buhari who can spearhead a proper crusade against corruption. Mixed reactions have continued to trail the recent endorsement of President Goodluck Jonathan as the sole candidate of the PDP for the 2015 presidential election. The endorsement by the Board of Trustees and some PDP governors has received both praises and knocks in the Nigerian polity. Olajumoke Olatunji has more.
The endorsements, as expected, did not go down well with members of the opposition, especially those in the camp of APC. Prominent among them was the former Vice President and APC presidential aspirant Atiku Abubakar, who outrightly condemned the decision as unconstitutional. A political scientist, Buchi Okeke, and the secretary of the Lagos PDP, Wahab Owokoniro, however, disagree with Atiku and others in his line of thought. They say it is a constitutional right of the president and beckoned on the PDP to trust him one more time.
In case of President Goodluck Jonathan, we in PDP know that he has done a lot of work for this country. His performance, as far as I'm concerned, is second to none. Nobody has ever achieved what this man has been able to achieve within the last 4 to 5 years. So you need to give kudos to this man. You need to give him another opportunity to recontest.
It is his constitutional right. In fact, of all the PDP members, he has the #1 choice to make whether to run for a second term or not. He is constitutionally empowered to run for a second term. But the issue of incumbency, is not necessarily the answer. I mean, or the reason why they are choosing him. I think it's because of, if you say, let us remove him even if the heavens fall. What if you remove him and the heavens fall? That means all of us will be consumed. You understand? So it is more or less in order not to disrupt the political equilibrium.
Without mincing words, popular legal practitioner Malaki Ugumadu dismissed the endorsements as diminishing the status of the nation's democracy.
Is to bemoan the fate of the so-called democracy we are practicing. But I'm happy, indeed excited, that such an idea, as unanimous as it seems, is beginning to receive deep resentment from even members of the PDP. The absence of internal democracy signals the end of democratic culture. And as it were, and as a lawyer, we learned very early about the legal maxim which says, nemo dat non quod habet. You cannot give what you don't have. If PDP has no internal democracy or democratic practice or culture, it would be naive of any person to think that they can bequeath that to the larger Nigerian society. Unfortunately, they are the ruling class.
There are also dissenting voices among some PDP top-notchers who are standing their ground that the sole candidacy concept will not work. One of them, Abdul Jalil Tafawa Balewa, who is also interested in taking a shot at the presidency, vows to go ahead with his ambition. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The Anglican Church has conferred on President Goodluck Jonathan the Primatial Award of Excellence in Christian Stewardship. Anglican Primate Archbishop Nicholas Oko decorated the president with the award at a brief ceremony at the presidential villa in Abuja. He noted that the essence of the award on the president was to acknowledge his fairness in distributing the nation's resources.
God be merciful unto us and bless us, and cause his face to shine upon us. It may be known upon earth, thy saving health among all nations. Let the people praise thee, O God. Let all the people praise thee. O let the nations be glad and sing for joy. For thou shalt judge the people righteously and govern the nations upon earth. Let the people praise thee, O God. Let all the people praise thee.
My prayers every day is for God to use me to change this country positively. I am here today. My political journey is something that nobody can tell how. Without God, I wouldn't have been here. And of course, most people know about it. But maybe when I leave office, that's when I'll tell the true story of my journey. But I believe very clearly that it's God that made it possible for me to even be a deputy governor in the first place, and not talk about being the president of Nigeria. I promise I will do my best, and I promise that I will not disappoint you.
It's the CoreTV News on the hour. Take a break and we'll be back with more reports. Don't go away.
Der Torschütze zum zwischenzeitlichen 1:1. Semenike schickt Musa, da ist Ahmed Musa! Und da ist der Ausgleich!
It's a beautiful Saturday evening in the city of Lagos.
Off the turn, Phelps had it, but then Matsui kept going.
Finals. 5 to shoot. Leonard does.
Sports is concerned, and of course, it's all of us here from all our building. I hope one will bless up.
Thank you for being there. The Senate has vowed to overrule the Independent National Electoral Commission on the creation of 30,000 additional polling units if it fails to stop the exercise. This, according to the chairman, Senate Committee on INEC, Andy Uba, is because the timing of the proposal is wrong. Uba told journalists in Abuja that a letter has already been sent to the INEC chairman, Atahiru Jega, on the Senate's position. He explained that even though the exercise would go a long way in solving some of the problems eligible voters usually encounter at polling centers, the timing is not right for the exercise. He also expressed confidence that the amendment to Electoral Act would be concluded as soon as the Senate resumes from the Eid al-Kabir break. An international non-governmental organization, Action Aid, plans to sensitize Nigerians in the rural areas to fully participate in the electoral process in 2015. Its country director, Hussein Abdul, told CoreTV News that people living with disabilities in the country also deserve to be given the chance to vote and be voted for next year. He argued that until a level playing field is created in the political environment for all citizens, the desired change that the country craves for would only be a mirage.
Yeah, our commitment is actually to engage the Nigerian citizens through our new project called Strengthening Citizens' Engagement with the Electoral Process. And it's a community mobilization and empowerment voter education program that is directed at citizens, ensuring they understand the election and the electoral process, strengthen accountability, work on issues on electoral violence, and ensure that citizens participate effectively in the electoral process. We are developing a voter education manual that will actually be used to engage them in their local community. We are using different participatory methodologies to strengthen their capacity. We will make sure that they actually not only understand the electoral process, but they also be able to hold their leaders to account.
The Department of State Service is to appeal the Federal High Court judgment which directed the agency to apologize to former FCT Minister Nasir El-Rufai for wrongful detention. The court, which sat in Awka, Anambra State, also ruled that the APC chieftain be paid 2 million naira in compensation. But the DSS, in a statement issued by its spokesperson Marilyn Oga, insisted an appeal would be lodged because some facts may have been inadvertently overlooked by the court. She argued that the 1999 Constitution grants the security agency the statutory powers to detain and investigate any suspect for not more than 48 hours before recourse to a court of law. But Oga explained that in this instance, the complainant was not confined or detained for more than 2 hours. The need to make the provision of healthcare facilities and infrastructure for local communities a priority has been emphasized in Ekiti State. The state government made this known at the handing over of community projects by a member of the National Assembly representing Ekiti Central Federal Constituency. Oyetunde Ojo, Rashid tells us more.
The people of Iwaji Ekiti, Ipole Iloro, and Aramoko Ekiti were filled with joy as motorized pipe-borne water system, a community hall, and medical ward were commissioned in the communities. The Ekiti State government, represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Hospital Management Board, Kola Woliaino, expresses gratitude to the lawmaker and advised all and sundry to emulate the laudable projects.
The government cannot do it alone. We need the support of everybody, particularly the politicians. It can be made as a constituency project or from their own personal donations. What is done today will become an history tomorrow. Definitely the posterity will remember you for good.
The lawmaker says the projects were executed in line with what the people of the communities demanded. He advised politicians and those in power to pay attention to people-oriented development projects.
Try and make sure you visit everywhere before you contest. Then you will know the problems of the people. And for every community in which I represent, I went to them, I sat down with them before my elections, and I asked them, what exactly do you want? Or what do you see, sometimes you cannot think for the people. You cannot think for the people sometimes. You must ask the people what they want.
Meanwhile, the state government has tasked all other well-meaning Ekiti citizens to follow in the direction of the federal lawmaker as a way of bringing the dividends of democracy closer to the people. Rashid, CoreTV News.
The deplorable conditions of most roads in Lagos has become a major worry for the residents of the state. The state government has, however, ascribed the development of the abuse of the road by most users, among other reasons. Anita Fatuji took a tour of some areas in the state and returned with this report.
The problem of bad roads in the country is becoming a national embarrassment. Motorists are in distress as the vehicles are prone to damage due to the very many potholes that often causes breakdown of vehicles. These Lagos residents urged the government to take another look at the deplorable state of some roads in the state.
The road is really bad. When it rains, God damn it. No place to park. The water enters the compound. You have to be packing water from the compound. Something else, if you can come to our aid, at least help us to repair the road to be better.
Roads in Lagos has really improved compared to far back, maybe 10 years, 15 years ago. There have been a great improvement, but nevertheless, there are still some bad roads that really need to be touched. At least the federal government should really try, endeavor to touch this road.
Others, however, attribute the problem to the nonchalant attitude of some Lagosians who treat public facilities with disdain.
We use this road most often. The government might actually take more action on the major roads, but on the streets, the residents should actually, because they use the road more often, it's their own area, it's a residential area. I think we should actually start attributing the lifestyle of what you can actually do to better your country, because this country is actually for everybody, it's for us. We can't go elsewhere.
It's not only about the roads. It's not only about tying the road or making the roads, but they should also look into maintenance culture. Because some of the roads that have been done less than 2 years, you see potholes all over them. There should be maintenance culture in this our country, in our state, Lagos.
The Lagos Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Femi Amzat, did not mince words over the development and tasked Nigerians, particularly Lagosians, on the need to safeguard public infrastructures and utilities.
Lagos is a built-up city. Lagos is a city that is 2 meters below sea level, so it's not like most other jurisdictions. So we are a coastal state, so which means water, when it rains, water will not disperse easily. What that means also is that these are chemicals. Chemicals and water, there's a reaction, so it will break up. Now, a road, more people must understand, a road is a wearing asset. What does that mean? The moment you build a road, from day one, it will start to deteriorate. That is the reality. So that's why when you build it, you have a base cost, you put what we now call a wearing asset, because it will wear away. Because there are cars working on it, there are so many things. So what is important is for us to keep maintaining them, for us not to abuse the road. So we cannot turn our roads into a car wash. We cannot turn it into a garbage can. Our drainages cannot be turned into garbage cans. So the moment we do that, we stop the abuse of our roads, then we'll be fine. So what is important is for all of us to take collective responsibility for our assets. And therefore, as the state government is building them, there are deficits, but we'll be able to finish everything.
The bottom line, however, for the residents is how quickly will the government meet their demands for the rehabilitation of the bad roads. Anita Fatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
We'll take another break now and we'll be back with a story outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
Rise, oh come patriot, Nigeria, call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The laborer, our heroes past, shall never be in vain.
Thousands of people have been joining pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong ahead of what organizers hope will be the largest day of protests so far. Tens of thousands of people have been blocking central parts of the territory for several days. They are demanding that China withdraw plans to vet candidates for the next leadership election in 2017. Current leaders Ceylon, backed by China, has rejected calls to quit and urged protesters to go home. Chinese President Xi Jinping, in an address to party leaders in Beijing, vowed to safeguard Hong Kong's long-term prospects. The demonstrators, who include students, supporters of the Occupy Central Group and others angered by the police response, said they were confident that they would step up the protest for Wednesday's national holiday, which marks the anniversary of the founding of Communist China. And that's it for this hour. Do join us again at 11 for more. Thank you for watching. I am Ebulomo Adekunle.